Hey everyone, this is Gaming Solo, and today we are going to be talking about missions. So, with Alpha 4.1.1, there are a number of new missions coming out, mostly in the flight realm, and I wanted to talk about it. We've had a lot of missions through the years pulled. I understand that some of the new flight missions are reminiscent of the original tutorial the game had, and it even has the same person kind of talking you through those missions. But I wanted to talk about the current mission layout in Star Citizen. So, just to kind of give a brief overview, Star Citizen is a sandbox game, meaning you don't have to do anything specific. You can go do whatever you want. However, there are missions currently in the game that you can do that kind of give you some of that guided gameplay. It's not really a theme park. You're not progressing in the same sense that you would in a game like WoW or Star Wars: The Old Republic or Final Fantasy. It's not like that. It's more kind of freeform missions. Hey, go here and do this to get money, and money is really the name there. It's the main way of making money in the game outside of the sandbox. So missions are very important, especially for a broader audience. I enjoy sandbox games and I enjoy going in and doing what I want and finding ways to do things, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. And if this game is going to have wide appeal, it definitely needs some progressions and theme park elements. It doesn't have to be a full theme park game, obviously, but there needs to be some elements so that, you know, people that come in playing that want something more akin to a guided experience like a theme park have something to do and something to progress towards. Now, we all know that reputation is part of that, but these new missions seem to have some new currency with them if the leaks are to be believed. I think that's interesting. We're not sure what that currency is yet. It could be something like military marks, right? They have mentioned that if you have a really high standing with the government or certain companies or things like that, it's going to unlock some perks for you and maybe some new shops that you would not have had access to and items you would not have had access to. And maybe this is the start of some of that coming in. What's kind of exciting right now is it does look like they are trying to make a game out of this tech demo we've all been playing. And if that is the case, things are going to get real interesting and real entertaining here very quick. We already have the Hathor event that is a permanent mainstay in the game. They're leveraging Wicklow, it seems, to give out different rewards and things like that. And it'll be kind of a revolving shop of kind of limited edition type things you can get for doing certain things in the game. And that's really cool. But the missions themselves are where I think they need to get a little more creative. As of right now, you get a mission and it's go take out this target. You go fly to the spot, you find the target, you take them out. You might have some other resistance, that I'm describing bounty missions for those of you that aren't familiar. But you take the target out, you get some money, and then you get a little progression into that faction and ground missions. There's bunkers or some other things. There's ground bounties where you get paid to go take out a specific NPC. Those are rather broken right now because every time I go into a bunker to take out a ground bounty, as soon as I engage with the hostiles in that bunker that are trying to shoot at me, I get in trouble and fail the mission. So there's definitely some kinks to be worked out there. But I wanted to speculate with you guys. What kind of missions do you want to see? I want to see some kind of tiered missions, right? Where not tiered as in they send me to go do this, and we discover something on that mission, and so the mission giver is contacting me on the mobiGlas and saying, "Hey, we don't have time. We can't make it there in time. Can you go take care of this?" And kind of like a quest line in an MMO, right? Stuff like that would be really cool and really interesting. They could really build on the lore of the universe like that. Um, you know, they can also bring in new mission types for that, right? Go fetch this data. They haven't done anything with data running yet, which is a gameplay loop that I'm interested in. But they they could use that to introduce that, that gameplay loop, right? Maybe you find a data pad that's encrypted, and you can't beam the information. You don't want to beam the information. You don't want someone to intercept it, right? Because that we know that's a thing. There's already a ship in the game that's supposed to be able to do that, but because data running is not a thing, the ship can't do that right now. But you got this data. It's on this encrypted card. You need to bring it back secured somewhere else, right? And maybe the computer on your ship might be able to unencrypt it over time, so you stick it in the computer of your ship and let it start working on it while you're on your way, so that you have a head start for your faction, whatever, right? Things like that. I do think that the missions that they're bringing in, that are the not patrol, the escort missions, that's interesting. There was a lot of that in Star Wars Galaxies, for those of you that have played that. You could do escort missions. You could also do patrol missions where you go between certain points and there's enemies that come out at you there. There's a lot that they could do, and I think something they need to start focusing on is multi-crew missions. Something where you have to take a multi-crew ship. Your multi-crew ship's going to have to be fully manned in order to be successful in the mission. Something like a EHRT right now is difficult solo. It's doable, but it is a little harder than it used to be, right? But something on that level where you want to crew up your ship, you want to go. Maybe the reward is big enough that you can crew up the ship and still split the reward and it still be worth it, and that kind of gives you that multi-crew gameplay that's kind of been lacking. There's not any missions that require a group currently. You could arguably solo just about everything they've thrown at us so far, outside of a couple of events. Obviously, you're not going to solo an Idris or solo some of those missions they did last year, where we earned the head, or not the headhunter, the Zenith threat armor and stuff like that. But generally, the missions that are permanently in the game are very soloable, and I've not run into one yet that, despite maybe a hiccup or maybe you get overwhelmed here and there, you can't just respawn on your ship and go out and finish the job, right? So something that requires multi-crew, maybe you have to be in a group of X amount of people to take the mission, and if people drop out of the group, the mission fails, kind of thing. Just encouraging that multi-crew gameplay. There's so many multi-crew ships, and it is, while I do a lot, gaming solo, I do a lot of solo play. It is fun every once in a while to jump into a multi-crew ship with a group of people and set your eyes on a certain task. Some other missions that I want to see come back are some of the outdoor missions they used to have, and they might still have them. Maybe I haven't gotten the rep back up since 4.0, but I don't think there was a high rep requirement for these, and it was the derelict missions, the derelict locations where you had to go clear out hostiles there. Maybe there were some criminals or something that were holed up, keeping the locals hostage, and you would show up, and there's snipers on the towers, and there's groups of them on the ground. I would love to see how those missions play out now that server meshing is in the game, and NPCs can be dangerous. I love scout type gameplay. That's where I lean on. I carry a sniper rifle with me, and a pistol is just typically my normal layout, which I've heard they're experimenting with messing up next update, but that'll be a separate video, I'm sure. Screw ups of this next update if they go to live. I'm referring to replacing the medical gun becoming a pistol slot item instead of staying with the utility items. I'm not a big fan of that. Now I have to pick between a pistol and a medical gun. I'd rather it stay separate like it is now. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. I would love to be able to land my ship outside of a derelict location, maybe drive in on a Dragonfly, and come in and snipe out the enemy and flush them out, different things like that, right? And see the NPCs react and move more naturally like they do in other locations now. If those missions are in the game, please let me know so I can go looking for them. Anyway, that's my thought on the current state of missions and what I think they should start doing. What are your thoughts? Drop them down below. If you want more content, you want to see more content like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the verse.